Hello and welcome to the Aramaic of the week. We are in Daniel 2:9. And if you remember, the king has been basically saying, if you guys can't come up with an interpretation of my dream, I will. So that's where we're at. And so we're kind of in mid-sentence here. The king has just said, you're stalling, but know this, that, D, Hain, that if, Helma, the dream, and remember that Kamat's aleph is the in Aramaic, it's on the end of a word. La, not, in Hebrew it's lo, because Hebrew underwent the Canaanite shift, but Aramaic didn't, and so it's a long A instead of a long O in Aramaic. If the dream not, oh boy, Tahoda Unani. Tahuda Onani. Anyway, Tahoda Unani. That's a mouthful. I've noticed that Aramaic words, they just seem longer than Hebrew words. Okay, so the tav on the front and the un here hiding there, there's the, could have been a sharuk, but sharuks are written defectively as a kibbutz. And so that's an imperfect. It is an imperfect tense because it adds stuff on the front and on the end in this case. Second masculine plural with the tav and the un in Aramaic. It is a hafel in Aramaic, or we just say H, the causative stem. So that's what that hey is. And you can see yada. Same thing happens in Aramaic that happens in Hebrew in an H stem. The yod of yada becomes a holum. So that's standard. And then ni, not the knights who say ni, but ni as in the first common singular suffix, which means me. So if the dream, you, second masculine plural, if y'all do not show me the money, if you do not cause me to know, cause from the H, and yada means no, if you do not, and me from ni, if you do not cause me to know the dream, aha, one is, he is the, one is it, that is, dot kon, what one is it, the decree. There's just one decree, basically, if you don't show me the dream. Now, in Hebrew, the word for one is echad with an aleph on the front. It's somehow just chad or chad. There's no ch sound in Aramaic, but I'm using that to remember that Chad's number one. Chad's number one. It's actually chad or kada, but anyway, is the word for one in Hebrew. In Aramaic, it's chopped off the aleph in Hebrew for echad. All right, so next line. The one is it, that is your the decree, and I'm sorry, decree is dot, and then kon is your decree. Okay, so dot kon, your decree. One is it, that is your decree, milah, and your word, sharuk is and, kidva, your lying word, ushakita, and your lying and corrupt word, one thing's going to go off. You agreed to speak before me. Okay, so this is another kathiv kareh, because it looks like there might be a dalet missing here. Although some have suggested that the Zion might be doubled, and remember that the points were added in the Middle Ages; they weren't there originally. But this is construed as a kathiv kareh, that this is how it's written, but this is how it should be spoken. Can we say this? His da min tun, his da min tun. Wow. Okay, so this is an HTD stem or a hithpael. Hithpael in Aramaic, hithpael in Hebrew. I'm just going to call it an HTD. It's a reflexive stem, although here let's just go with you agreed. you'll notice that there's been what's called a metathesis here, that the HD, the HT, well, first of all, the T has become a D, and they've switched places. So the word is zaman, and so the Zion should be actually here. It should be Zion mem nun, like it is up here, Zion mem nun. And then tune is the, it's perfect. So perfect puts stuff on the front. Anyway, it should be Zion mem nun, but we've had a metathesis, which happens a lot with the HTD stem with dental kinds of things, as I recall. Anyway, but all right, so that's a mess. Lame mar, amar is to say, la is a preposition, and then this is min, from, so this is an infinitive, amar, to speaking. You agreed to speak, kadamai, before me, ad di, until that. Okay, so prepositions everywhere, way too many words, more than are necessary. Okay. The time will change. Let's see if we can get the train of thought here. Okay, the train of thought is, so if you do not cause me to know the dream, there's just one decree. Basically, then he says, your lying and corrupt word, you have agreed to speak before me until something changes. So basically you're stalling. You're going to keep telling me what I want to hear until you hope the situation will become such that you can wiggle out of it. And so so all this stuff here is you've agreed to with each other, and the HTD has a reflexive sense. So maybe you've agreed with each other. That would be an HTD kind of sense. You've agreed with each other to speak this way before me until the time, there's Kamat's Aleph, the time will change. Something will change. So let's see if we can look at this one here. So this is a yod on the front, so that's imperfect. It is another HTD. I think the tav, again, that's the T of the HTD, but it's metathesized. It's switched places with the sheen, because the word is shana, and the shin has been separated from the na. Na. Okay, shana na. Anyway, so it's an HTD, but it's imperfect because it has stuff on the front. This yod. The yod is third masculine singular because the subject is time, and time is a he, I guess. Until the time will change. All right, from Shana. Therefore, lahain, also in Hebrew the same. Helma, the dream, tell to me. So stop stalling. It's time to put up or shut up. This is an imperative here, a call, G imperative, Grundstamm, Pa'al in Aramaic. Tell to me the dream now. Va in da, and I will know that its interpretation you will show me. Okay, so you will know and I will know. So this is a imperfect because it has a letter on the front, first common singular, which is what the aleph is in Hebrew as well. It's yada, the yod has kind of been sucked into the messiness there. All right, that its interpretation. So the hey with my peak is its, and then we have this. So this is pishrea. And this, yeah, and then this is ta ha ka vu na ni. Another ni, which is me at the end. You will show me. We've seen the kava a number of times. It is to show. Also a hithpael. It's imperfect because it puts a tav on the front. The tav and the un tell me it's second masculine plural. The un is hiding there in the middle. That okay, the H, there's no T or D there, is there? Okay, I would have said hifil. Let me just double check real quick. Aha, I was just testing myself. It is a hifil because there's no HTD there. That's just the H. So it's imperfect because stuff on the front, and un Tav and un is second masculine plural. The hey tells me it's a causative. It's kava, which we've seen before, and then ni is first common singular. Okay, so show me the dream or you're in big trouble.